Topping our lineup here on The Now, the newest work perk is getting your paycheck at the end of the day instead of every 2 weeks. We're taking a look at how that would work and the warning before you cash in. And you might see more charcoal toothpaste for sale these days. There are claims that it is just great for whitening and strengthening your teeth. We're finding out whether those claims are really true. And there's a new push to get us to buckle up, the place you may not think about putting your seatbelt on, and how one group is trying to change your mind.
Thank you, Chris. This is The Now Indy on RTV6. I'm Amanda Starrentino. The Indianapolis 500 is Sunday, and the weeks leading up to race day are more than just interesting for spectators. Working for you, our Alyssa Donovan explains that it also creates a unique learning environment for people in the medical field, and it's all an effort to better protect you.
There's not many places that medical residents can work with drivers hitting speeds around 200 miles per hour. That's why during the month of May, IMS offers a special motorsports elective right here at the track.
This is a different world of medicine, so you learn another whole set of caring for patients.
Evaluating drivers when they crash as a result of, especially as a result of ultra-high-speed crashes with the G-forces that we see, there's really nowhere else that you can go to have those kind of experiences.
These senior medical residents are here to learn from the best of the best when it comes to caring for people involved in motorsports. And so far, they've had their fair share of hands-on training.
And they're among the first people who arrive at the car, and they kind of learn how to evaluate one of our drivers after they crash and to make sure that there aren't any significant injuries before they get out of the car.
The residents responded to all 3 crashes at the track last week.
It's been during practice, so thank goodness it hasn't been serious.
Most of them are from the emergency medicine program at IU School of Medicine, but there is interest from out of state. Drew Lowry is visiting from Texas.
There's no other opportunity like this really in the country.
And the injuries are unlike others they'd see in a hospital.
They are very different. And how you approach them is different too, because you're on scene whenever the accident actually happens.
Residents also work with the pit crews and spectators. The program also has a mass gathering component, so medical residents will be here throughout the weekend for concerts as well as the Indy 500 on Sunday to make sure all of the spectators are taken care of. I'm Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
An incredible experience for a blind combat veteran with the help of Indy racing legend Mario Andretti and a West Coast tech startup. He was able to experience a lap at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Jeff Mittman was recently named the first blind CEO of Bosma Enterprises, which is a nonprofit organization that helps Hoosiers with blindness and visual impairments. The Bosma team recently discovered a San Diego tech startup called IRA. Through a smartphone app or through a pair of the company's Horizon Smart Glasses, IRA delivers real-time access to visual information. This helped Mittman fully experience his ride around the 2.5-mile oval with Mario Andretti.
There's a camera in the glasses, and it's connected to a phone that connects to an operator, and the operator will actually describe what you're seeing as you look around with the glasses on. So, you know, for instance, staying in an airport, you could read the airport, what gate sign you're at or whatever it is. But again, it's just one of those technologies that we're trying to test out at Bosma as we provide opportunities for people who are blind or visually impaired.
And like we said earlier, Jeff Mittman is also a combat veteran. After learning about Jeff's story, Mario Andretti requested he personally drive Mittman around the track.
Temperatures quite cool today on the track. They'll be much warmer as we go into the weekend. There's the front straightaway on the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Rain-soaked front straightaway as we've had another round of rain move through. Temperatures are modest, 55 in Indy. Temperature in Kokomo the same, 57 in Bloomington. We're all battling clouds and rain. Most likely area for rain next couple of hours will be from Greenfield through Newcastle to Richmond. This is all sliding to the north and east. Southern edge of this is Shelbyville, Rushville, and Connorsville. Temperatures pretty much locked in place. They won't change much. They're in the 50s now. They'll stay there tonight. Between now and 11, what we do is dry out. That's the major accomplishment over the next several hours. 59 at 11 o'clock tonight. Talk about the timing of overnight thunderstorms coming up.
A bill is making its way through Congress that would raise the age to buy tobacco products from 18 to 21 nationwide. The Tobacco-Free Youth Act would apply to all products, and that includes e-cigarettes. Kamasi here and taking a look at what this move could mean.
Nationwide, we're in the middle of a completely new public health epidemic.
Senator Mitch McConnell explaining why he's introducing a bill that would require anyone buying tobacco products in the U.S. to be 21 or older.
Youth vaping is a public health crisis. It's our responsibility as parents and public servants to do everything we can to keep these harmful products out of high schools.
In 2018, the CDC found the number of high school students who said they currently use tobacco products increased by 38%. The agency said the increase is tied to e-cigarettes. The number of high school students in the survey who said they'd vaped in the last 30 days surged by almost 78% from 2017 to 2018.
Well, we really think it's really kind of unnecessary.
But Todd Beisch, president and CEO of the Illinois Chamber of Commerce, isn't sure this bill is the answer and says local retailers will feel the impact most.
Our sense is that you're really not going to diminish teen smoking that much. They're going to find it elsewhere, and you've just pushed those sales into the shadows.
Dr. Ron Crane, president of Tobacco 21, says he's optimistic the bill will become law, but says the real challenge will be getting the FDA to enforce it.
So they spend a lot of money doing enforcement checks. They did 140,000 last year. But how many rogue retailers did they suspend? 27 across the entire country. That doesn't work.
14 states and hundreds of local governments have already raised the age, and major cigarette and vaping companies are actively supporting these efforts. I'm Kumasi Aaron reporting.
All right, Kamasi, thank you. And the issues with the Boeing 737 MAX are not keeping people from flying this summer. A trade group representing the major airlines says it expects 257 million passengers to fly from June through August. That's a 3.4% increase from last summer's record high. The 737 MAX groundings did cause Southwest, American, and United to cancel flights. However, the airline trade group says that more than 100,000 seats are being added overall this summer to keep up with demand. All right, let's get back to our lineup here on The Now. And businesses are trying everything to attract new workers. The newest perks, some are trying out same-day paychecks. You get paid each time you work. We're checking out how that would work and the warning before you cash in.
Welcome back to The Now Indy on RTV6. Indiana Attorney General Curtis Hill has filed a lawsuit against the owners and directors of a pharmaceutical company known for making OxyContin. Now, Hill's office announced the lawsuit today against members of the Sackler family, the owners of Purdue Pharma. Hill says they intentionally understated the risks of opioid use. In an 8-year period, the family received more than $4 billion from Purdue Pharma, which has no connection to Purdue University.
The Sackler family and Purdue Pharma bear substantial responsibility for causing this crisis. Now they must bear substantial responsibility to fix it.
The lawsuit claims the Sackler family violated the Deceptive Consumer Sales Act and many other protection acts.
Let's get to the Now news feed. Walmart's being accused of selling questionable alternative remedies. A nonprofit is suing Walmart, saying the store gives customers a misleading impression of what their homeopathic drugs do, which are drugs that come from minerals and plants and aren't regulated like traditional medicine. McDonald's under fire for its handling of sexual harassment cases. The ACLU and Time's Up Legal Defense filed almost 24 complaints against McDonald's. The company says it is working to improve policies and training to better handle cases. New numbers show that fewer children are dealing with high cholesterol. The study in the Journal of the American Medical Association says that children are eating healthier overall. And while that is good news, the bad news is obesity rates are still high. Some fast food chains are about to offer new perks to attract employees. Paychecks on the same day that they worked. But is that really a good idea? Annie Taylor taking a look at the pros and the cons.
Chris, starting in June, Church's Chicken, Pizza Hut, and Checkers will offer same-day paychecks. Taco Bell already offers the same deal. So how does this work? Well, only some locations will offer this new perk. Again, Church's, Pizza Hut, and Checkers will offer half of that day's pay up front. At Taco Bell, workers need to pay a $4 fee first. The intentions here are good. Ideally, workers would get that money in advance so that they can pay important bills. Money experts say the perk will definitely help out people with a low income, but it's important to still keep the same mindset as you would with a regular pay schedule.
The ability to get some money in hand now is going to be a huge help. Of course, you still have to do some budgeting because now that paycheck you get at the end of the pay period it's only going to be half of what it otherwise would have been.
So most Taco Bell workers who have taken advantage of same-day pay have spent the money on things like transportation, groceries, and unexpected bills.
All right, Annie, thank you. And next on our lineup, charcoal toothpaste. That's really popular right now. You may see it at the store. It claims to whiten and strengthen your teeth, but we're getting answers whether that's true.
Tune up for only $89. On time.
Just more than a year ago, students at Santa Fe High School dealt with the unimaginable tragedy of 23 people shot and 10 people killed. Chris Welch is in Santa Fe, Texas today, bringing us the story of two women who decided to bring about change in a way only they knew how.
It was a Friday morning at Santa Fe High School.
I was in my English class and the fire alarm went off. So I walk out and my history teacher is yelling at me to run.
Senior Annabelle O'Day ran across a busy highway where she found her school counselor.
And I said, "What's happening?" And she said, "There were shots, Annabelle, there's a gun."
She and three friends made it home and watched as it played out on the news. But it wasn't long before the group had an idea.
So me and my friends, we started a nonprofit focused on a movement of love and kindness and promoting mental health because we wanted to start something that will help with the situation that both sides, left or right, can get behind.
They started Hearts United for Kindness, a nonprofit focused on, yes, kindness, which she says could be the key to preventing tragedies like this.
I believe that it comes from that hate. That's why you're getting these events happening. And so we just want to be able to make sure that people have an outlet so that they can learn to control their emotions.
This property was very overgrown, underutilized.
2001 Santa Fe graduate Mandy Jordan is doing something similar, creating a healing garden.
For me personally, nature is a great healing mechanism.
While neither woman says they disagree with the gun control movement sparked by Parkland students, they said that wasn't what Santa Fe needed, at least not right now.
Personally, I don't think you can even think of any of those other things until you've healed.
And so we just want to make sure that people feel like it's okay for them to go get help.
Reporting in Santa Fe, Texas, I'm Chris Welch.
All right, Chris, thank you. Car seats are not a substitute for a crib when it comes to a sleeping baby. There's a new study in the Journal of Pediatrics that looked at infants who died in a sitting device like a seat or a stroller. More than 2/3 of them happened while their babies were in car seats. Experts say that those seats are important for safety while you're driving, but at home they can flip over or fall off a surface. People often leave their babies in the seats and bring them inside the house if they fall asleep in the car, but the American Academy of Pediatrics says that the best way for a baby to sleep is on its back on a flat surface. Researchers at Mount Sinai say CBD could treat opioid addiction. Patients with a heroin addiction were prescribed CBD meds. Researchers found that patients had fewer cravings for heroin and they were also less anxious. Now, patients were given Epidiolex, which is already approved by the FDA and meant to reduce seizures.
Two different views here, one looking north from Indianapolis, the other looking to the west. And on your right-hand side of the screen, see that little fuzzy patch there? That's a very light shower coming into Marion County in the Speedway area. We'll cross the White River and move through downtown once again, not nearly as heavy as what we've had. Rain and thunderstorms, they'll redevelop overnight and be around for the morning hours. Temperatures will be warmer tomorrow. That won't be hard. We're stuck in the mid-50s now, and then that daily chance for thunderstorms. Heaviest rain, most consistent rain from Greenfield to Newcastle to Richmond. This will continue to move to the north and east. Storms are out to the west. That's where they'll stay till the overnight hours. We'll inherit some storms. Again, the risk for severe weather in Indiana is low. We'll keep our eye on that. Temperature 55 degrees now. That wind out of the east at 15. Sunset will not be dramatic, 8:58. We may see some rays break through there. First thing in the morning, most likely time for rain morning hours. By noon, we're drying out, and then we're warming up to the 80-degree mark as we get to the afternoon hours. 7 a.m. We'll have showers around, but first overnight they move in from the west, 1 to 7 a.m. A few rumbles of thunder, some downpours as we get mid-morning to late morning. They start to wind down and they'll push to the east. Temperatures tomorrow, if 80 degrees is our goal, we've got a shot. 81 down in Bloomington, temperature in the metro area right at 80. We'll warm up from there as we go to Thursday. Temperatures again with some thunderstorms interrupting the warm up should still make it into the low to mid 80s.
Well, let's start the news feed. Another deadly plane crash in Alaska, and this is the second time in a week that Taquan Air float plane has been involved. 2 people were killed yesterday when the plane went down. 6 people died in a crash when 2 planes collided last week. Now, another horse is dead at a California racetrack. The number of horses who have died at Santa Anita Park this season is 25. This time a horse broke its pelvis in a race, something that the wet weather has led to more horses getting injured on the track and then dying. Well, another sad example of the impact that pollution is having on the ocean and marine life, because Italian scientists say that a whale was found with a pile of plastic in its stomach. The whale was found dead on a beach in Sicily, and much of the garbage that was plastic in its stomach, plastic bags. Well, activated charcoal is in a lot of products these days, including toothpaste. Now, the big questions: is it worth it, and do you actually benefit from it? Annie Taylor is telling us what dentists have to say about this all-natural toothpaste.
Hello. Charcoal powder. Activated charcoal. It's 100% vegan, and you can use it every single day from home to keep your teeth free of stains and really nice and shiny and bright.
From bloggers to YouTubers to social media influencers, activated charcoal toothpaste is the latest all-natural teeth whitening trend.
Charcoal toothpaste is charcoal. So charcoal is burned wood.
Dr. Noah Ariola Triella says using activated charcoal to whiten your teeth can potentially do more harm than good.
All these charcoal products that people are using aren't regulated and haven't been tested for how hard they are. They might actually be scratching your teeth to the point of damage.
Despite concerns from some dentists, the product has gone mainstream. That's because more people are switching to all-natural products to get results. But Dr. Ariola Triella says the toothpaste we've grown up with are natural.
Fluoride is natural. The way we learned about fluoride is it naturally occurs in our water.
And if you're still thinking about using the charcoal toothpaste, Dr. Ariola Triella has this warning.
Some studies are finding that particles impregnate in your gums and may not be removable without surgical intervention. So your teeth might end up white, but your gums might end up blue-gray.
At the end of the day, charcoal toothpaste might whiten your teeth, but do dentists recommend it for your overall oral health? The answer to that is no. So you're really going to have to just brush at your own risk. I'm Annie Taylor reporting.
All right, Annie, thank you. Credit card skimmers at gas pumps, they continue to be just a huge problem. One defense against them: it's not as effective as we thought. Now, police have suggested that you turn on your phone's Bluetooth to detect skimmers nearby. It'll show up on your phone is what the hope would be. Now, the National Association of Convenience Stores, though, says don't rely on that, because not all skimmers run on Bluetooth technology, and some also only send Bluetooth signals at certain times. Still, with that said, it doesn't hurt to turn your Bluetooth on just in case. Nike and Adidas are now getting involved in the politics of the new tariffs. The shoe brands urging President Trump to reconsider tariffs on shoes made in China. More than 170 other companies signed an open letter to the president. They added that families in the U.S. would end up paying up to a 100% duty on shoes. Store owners in the U.S. are also worried about the rising costs.
Hopefully our vendors can adjust accordingly. I don't know if it's possible for them to switch production to countries that, won't have these tariffs.
Now, right now, the only thing shoe store owners can suggest is for shoppers to buy American, but prices will still be somewhat high due to increased labor costs. The U.S. Postal Service is testing out self-driving trucks, these big 18-wheelers driving between Phoenix and Dallas. Now, there is a safety driver who sits behind the wheel and is supposed to take over if there's an emergency, and also an engineer will ride in the passenger seat. The trucks will go on 45-hour round trips. All right, finally in our lineup, there is a new push to get us to change our habits when it comes to buckling up. The place where you may not think about putting your seatbelt on, and how one group is trying to change your mind.